lives in a tourist area by the sea on his boat. He wakes up in the morning, has his coffee, and turns on his favorite music. He detonates a bomb inside the skiff after exiting it, in case someone tries to take the boat. This is precautionary. After that, he rides his motorcycle to an eatery where everyone recognizes him. Bishop is given a unique seat with a view of the water by the waiter. A girl with Asian features then approaches him and claims to have been searching for him for a while. She informs him that her boss has instructed him to murder 3 individuals, and that he should do so in an unnatural manner. And she assures him that he can handle this because he is an authority in his field. She threatens to report him if he refuses, explaining that he is wanted by a number of groups and that he faked his own death before running away from everything. Bishop sees that there are people with this girl. They were giving him menacing glances as they observed him. When he pulls out his phone to make a call, he snaps a photo of the girl as he instructs her to do so. He stops her and punches her when she attempts to pull the gun. Bishop was able to strike the people with the girl with great skill as they began to attack him. Then, Bishop sees thugs approaching him on surveillance cameras. Bishop leaps off the wall of the eatery and lands on the cable car. Bishop is pursued by the girl and several men, who board the cable car and make threats to those inside. Bishop was above them as they searched for him. Bishop jumps off the girl's attempt to board him after she shoots him and falls on a plastic plane for the visitors. When Bishop comes back to the boat at night, he observes the area from a distance and sees that there are 2 people there, and they are mindlessly searching the boat. Bishop gets his phone out and detonates the skiff. Then he visits a location with big containers, unlocks one of them, and burns his passport along with some other items containing his personal information. Then Bishop visits a Thai island where he encounters a girl he is familiar with. And since this lady is the owner of a resort on the island, she shows him the room where he formerly resided. Bishop looks for the girl he took a photo of in the restaurant after unlocking a hidden compartment in the room and taking out a bag containing phones, weapons, and passports. He is aware of facts about both her and Crane. He is the employer of this lady. Gina approaches the hotel's proprietor when she first arrives and requests first aid. The hotel proprietor sees bruises on Gina's hand from the beating. Gina is spoken to by the hotel proprietor, who asks if she needs any additional assistance. Gina, however, claims she only requires a first aid box and departs the hotel at night on a boat. Bishop's acquaintance with the hotel's proprietor alerts him to the presence of a girl on the boat who is being beaten. She approaches Bishop and begs him to assist this young woman. Bishop then arrives at the boat and orders the man to stop hitting the girl and get off. But the guy won't go away from her, and he tried to point a gun at Bishop. However, Bishop strikes him, killing him. He then goes back to the hotel, informs the proprietor that he has finished the job, and requests that she drive Gina to the hotel. Her passport, phone, and a photo of Bishop are discovered when Bishop investigates the boat. Then he detonates the boat, returns to the hotel, and queries Gina as to why his photo is on her phone. If she works for Crane, he inquires. She informs him that Bishop is being set up, and she says that Crane has something to blackmail her with. It was intended for her to get to know him before calling the number on her phone to announce the conclusion of her assignment after she had met him. Bishop is aware that Gina runs a shelter for children who have been the victims of human trafficking, and Crane has threatened to murder the kids if she doesn't comply with his demands. As a boat with men on board approaches the island, Bishop sees that the men are keeping watch on the island. Gina was instructed by Bishop to portray herself as his confidante, and this is exactly what transpired. Gina then apologizes to him for setting her up and claims that she was at a loss for what to do because the kids meant the world to her. Bishop informs her that because he was an orphan, he appreciates her attitude. He reveals to her that he and Crane were purchased by a criminal and that he was able to get away from them. But because they believed Crane was to blame for his escape and he did not manage to flee, they punished him. And because of this, Crane detested Bishop. Bishop and Gina then devise a plan of flight. He offers her a watch as a memento and requests that she retain it until their next encounter. The following day, Gina is abducted by Crane's goons. Bishop calls Crane and requests him to meet man to man. When Bishop runs into Crane, he begs him to let Gina go. Bishop is informed by Crane that he will release her, but only after Bishop murders 3 persons. Bishop receives a file from Crane that contains data on various individuals. It was challenging to get to the first inmate, an African arms dealer who was housed in a high-security facility. Crane instructs Bishop to ingest a GPS pill after that. Bishop queries Crane as to what evidence there is that Gina is still living after he has finished his mission to allow them to find him. Additionally, Crane assures him that he will be permitted to call her after each procedure he conducts. After he completes his last mission, they will give him her location, he assures him. Bishop then examines the details of the prison where the first prisoner is held in Malaysia. The prison was located in a shark-infested sea in the center of the ocean. There were 100-meter-high cliffs all around the jail. This indicates that the job is challenging and that getting inside a prison is nearly impossible. Bishop researches the information on a few wanted individuals before settling on one. He also had a noticeable tattoo on his forehead. Bishop then adopts this person's moniker to create a false identity. Then he purchases some of the supplies he will require for the task. On the second day, as he was walking down the street, he was stopped and taken to jail. Bishop recalls Crane's remark that he wouldn't have gone to his aid by boat if people hadn't died accidentally. Bishop observes that the arms merchant is not alone. He is accompanied by guards. Bishop inquires about the weapons dealer from a prisoner. He is informed by the prisoner that the president of Liberia was murdered by a man by the name of Krill. He revealed to him that many inmates attempted his murder. Bishop guards Krill when a prisoner attempts to kill him. Krill acknowledges Bishop and extends an invitation to supper. He murders him when Bishop encounters him. It was determined that food poisoning was the reason of Krill's demise. Bishop then detonates the jail wall and paints his body with something that repels sharks. He then ingests his GPS pill before diving into the water. The boat's captain receives word that Bishop has completed his task, and they give him the position. Following that, Bishop makes a video call to Gina, who gives him 36 hours to murder the second person or they will kill her. Gina is assured by Bishop that she cannot be killed. Adrian, a billionaire who works in the mining industry, was the second individual Crane sent information about. However, his primary line of work is human trafficking, and he resides in Australia on the 58th level of a skyscraper. And he informs him that the man's flat is fortified with a concrete wall, and that all of its doors are fortified and resistant to bullets. A fingerprint reader and sensors are also present at every entryway. Bishop pretends he wishes to rent the flat below this man's. Bishop makes a copy of the apartment's keys, makes a detailed drawing of the space, creates glass bombs, poses as a maintenance man, and enters the apartment using the keys he made. He then exits the room and walks over to the millionaire's apartment's glass pool. Bishop detonates the glass bomb before detonating the pool where the billionaire was residing, and he stumbles, dying. Additionally, Gina makes a smart move by directing the camera at the boat's number while she is speaking with Bishop. Bishop can only learn the location of the yacht through him. Bishop travels to the boat's location via aircraft. He gets on the boat, where he murders a few guards, but he is soon apprehended. Bishop receives a warning from Crane that their arrangement will be revoked if he attempts it once more. The final task, which is to murder wealthy American arms dealer Max, who purchased a monument to Bulgarian communism, is then given to Bishop by Crane. Additionally, the mountain on which this monument was constructed concealed a basin for submarine maintenance. Intercontinental weapons are also mounted on these submarines. No one was able to access or leave this location, and those who attempted to do so all perished. After Bishop murdered the two victims, Max stepped up his security measures. Bishop had 48 hours to finish the assignment. Max has requested an emergency helicopter, which Bishop discovers. Bishop is able to conceal himself beneath the aircraft, and once there, he installs a gadget that disables the security cams. He defeats the on-duty soldiers. Bishop detonates the elevator when the guards attempt to take Max to the building's safe area. Bishop is waiting for Max when he walks into the safe area. Bishop offers to help Max fool Crane by pretending to be dead. In order for them to locate Max's body, Crane must send his men to search for it. Because they are simple to eliminate, Crane will be the only person in the boat. Max's demise was indeed a lie. Then, in the Max's location's offices, there is an explosion. Bishop is ready for Max when he falls into the basin with an oxygen bottle, and they then travel to an island. When Bishop phones Crane to request that he free Gina, Crane declines and demands to see Max's body. Crane is told by Bishop that the corpse is in his submarine and is docked there. To make sure Max is deceased, Crane commands his men to go to the submarine dock. Bishop was preparing the spot to welcome Crane's men, where he planted explosives everywhere. Arthur Bishop then murders Crane's soldiers as soon as they arrive. Crane observes what transpires as recorded by surveillance cameras. Bishop boarded Crane's skiff and massacred the security personnel. Gina is wounded. The self-detonation on the yacht is set off by the Crane. Gina is placed in a survival pod by Bishop, who is able to contact her just in time for the boat to blow up. Bishop and Crane start to battle. As soon as Bishop ties Crane up with a rope, the boat blows up. Saved is Gina. Watching the boat wreck being pulled from the water is Max and his soldiers. Next, we see Gina with the children, who appears startled to see Bishop standing in front of her. And when Max is looking through the security footage, he sees that Bishop was in the steel room, which is a safety feature on every yacht. The movie stops here. I appreciate your attention.